clones. Yeah, let's do that.
Or like the video game notion of giving Dr. Isaac 2 lives.
Yeah, I just think he's like, you know what? That'd be awesome if he meets his clone at the end and then like this and that. But then they completely forget about the simulation. I think he's very idea driven. Does that make sense?
Right. Well, and it comes back to our, just the notion of like gags in movies. I guess it's more important when you're making a movie or a flick to get your gag.
Yeah.
And build things around your gags. As opposed to the filmy things that are really trying to bring synthesis to things.
Yeah, I just think he pops up with ideas and he does it. But we got to watch Sir Jorah Mormont overact, which I wouldn't trade.
I want to compare his screen time to Milla Jovovich
in this movie.
Yes,
he's on screen a lot.
And also, if both of his clones, if he and his clone are on screen at the same time, that minute counts as 2 minutes. Because it's a Jorah Mormont minute, not the actor.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's so between all of his clones, the flashbacks, even though the flashbacks are very brief, I want to know, like, how many times over his characters get minutes of screen time versus Milla.
He's the co-lead in this movie. They have 2 major fight scenes.
Yeah.
They have a fight scene on the tank, and then they have a fight scene in the laser room.
And they even simulate the fight scene. There's the fight scene that didn't literally happen in the movie, but we see the simulations too.
He has a big role in this movie.
So we saw the simulation of him killing her with the quill pen, him breaking the decanter over her face. So that's really a whole nother fight too. Man,
they should just make a movie about him next.
This movie was his movie.
Whoa. It's a good theory. I like it. I have a bunch of notes in here going, this dude's crushing it.
Well, first of all, in this, I think he thinks he's the hero of this movie.
When the Red Queen is?
Yeah, but I think he's got his 4,000 or however many rich people down there. Yeah. Why have you woken me up? There seems to be a problem. I'll solve it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because they woke him up.
And why kill those 4,000 people? Don't you need as many people as you can get? Like, they're not going to they have nothing. They have no technology. So, they're not even going to live that long. Wouldn't you want them out and about?
Maybe they're just all a bunch of rich assholes. I don't know.
Just kill them? Because you went from 4,000 people to, you could have 8,000.
Yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of people down there. So we knew there were 4,000 people on the surface that were all going to die in exactly 48 hours for some reason. And then there were however many, I'm guessing 1,000, 2,000 more that were down there in his facility where he was awoken, right? Do you think they were just doing like a Fiddler's Green from Land of the Dead?
Yeah, pretty much. Just let him do it, right?
Little Fiddler's Green.
What a great skyscraper.
And I wonder, though, were all those people asses or was it just a bunch of the asshats from Umbrella Corporation? But then there were just a bunch of other people who were just affluent who wanted a good future for their families.
I'm sure there were families in there.
So, but they're all dead now, right? They're dead. Alice just decided they're all evil.
Yeah, and they're legit dead.
Did we just turn Alice into a villain?
And the world's population just got cut in half.
Yeah.
Because of the pod.
We know that she killed the biggest douchebag, but it's not like they were all that. Oh, unless he had replaced all those other people with clones of himself.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Well, then he should have woken up more of himself then, and then he would have won.
He totally would have done that.
He would have won.
But let's say there's 8 more of him. You would have had a bunch more people. She killed half the world's population at the end.
He should have won.
Yeah. the world would have gone on.
When I just look at the resources he had at his disposal, he should have won.
They should have just not battled Alice. You know how many, if they just would have left her alone, right?
Yep.
You know how many people could have survived?
All of them.
This was a necessary. This was a necessary war.
Yeah. Especially when that antivirus was in there the whole time.
Man. Oh yeah, they could have just unleashed that
the whole time.
Right. Wait, they could have just unleashed it and then started their new world because they were down to so few people.
Yeah, but I guess they wanted, I'm assuming there was like a fanaticism here. Like they wanted their particularly, curated set of people.
They didn't want no riffraff?
Yes. Again, you need laborers though.
If they hadn't sent Alice to that facility, they would have had clones for days.
Yeah. Or then again, maybe for laborers, they were thinking about clones. There's that too.
Yeah.
Because they have great clone tech anyway.
I mean, the world's big. They could have been like, listen, guys, you take this continent, we'll take this continent. Cool? Cool. Right?
It just never goes that way, though. People always get greedy.
Yeah, give it like 2,000 years.
They all just need to be the biggest jerk. By the way, so when we saw like really old Alice, all I could think was like, that's what Alice is going to look like in Resident Evil 27.
Yeah. Just kicking butt.
Like when she's 90, she'll actually be 90 years old in Resident Evil Part 27.
I would love it. I will watch it. I mean, I'll still be talking about them. You won't. I'll watch them on the theater.
Yep.
I'm invested now.
Take my money.
We spent about 12 hours and countless hours researching these things. 12 hours recording, or no, about 11 hours recording, and then researching.
Yep.
I want more.
It's a lot of time to dedicate to Resident Evil. So who spent more time on Resident Evil than us? Well, Milla Jovovich, Paul W.S. Anderson, and then it's us.
Yep. the two of us. Because I listen to every single commentary. Wait, is this like Wesker's joke on me toward the end? Nah, you know what though, man? I know we're joking around, but I do appreciate the time that he took into all these commentaries, Paul W.S. Anderson. Like, he does love these movies, so it does make me happy. Like, I didn't waste time on these. And if you're going to podcast, you might as well know as much as possible, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, they're fun watches, except for maybe part 2.
I wish this would have ended stronger. I wish this would have been like a 5, because then we could have had a great time talking about it.
Yeah.
There's no Michelle Rodriguez being pulled in the water by more water zombies. Water zombies are always sneaking on people.
I've had such fun action, too. In this one, most of the action... so the end action was fun, but, like, all the siege battle stuff, like, that was just phoned in for me.
Yeah,
I never cared.
General Alice?
Yeah, I never cared about any of that.
Well, you know what, though? In the first one, there's a water zombie that bites a guy, right? And then in the 5th one, there's water zombies, and then this one, there's a water zombie.
Yeah, like they're water zombies.
All right. So, we've ranked them. We've talked about this movie. What's your favorite moment from all 6 movies?
Oh, okay. Favorite moment? It's a lot of the end scenes, like the end of part 4, when you see all those aircrafts coming to their super big aircraft carrier thing. I love at the end of, I think it was part 3, where you see all the Jova clones. I love the beginning of part 4 when you see that she's using her Jova clones and they're going all like ninja chic. Those are some like really fun moments for me. Just great ideas.
Yeah. Oh man. I think my favorite scenes are just watching we really did like this trilogy quite whatever 6 films have really evolved. I loved in the 3rd one when the CGI for the crows was really good. Remember how we waxed poetically about that?
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is growing up. And then the 4th one, they used the Phantom camera for the slow motion in the bathroom fight. And the 5th one, they had that cool in reverse action scene.
Oh yeah, that was great.
So I really enjoyed watching Paul W.S. Anderson take a lot of chances as a filmmaker. And maybe that's why this one's annoying, because the second one we don't need to talk about. The 3rd one, though, I felt they really tried to make it a different movie, really bring in CGI. The 4th and 5th were bonkers, and I think they were really trying to do different things. But this one just did nothing different.
Yeah.
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 I mean, what they did that enriched it for me again, it was just the story-driven stuff, the stuff at the end, the 3 Alices,
the trilogy of bitches.
Right, the Trinity of.
Oh, Trinity! I call them the trilogy of bitches. The trilogy of bitches. I bet when he read that line in his trailer in the morning, he was like, hell yeah.
And for anyone who hasn't listened to all the other episodes that we've done on these Resident Evils, these are much more satisfying when they are seen in close succession.
Oh,
when the story is fresh in your mind. Because again, it's like comparing to the Saw movies. People thought the Saw movies were so disjunct, and I don't even know what's happening. It's like But if you watch the Saw movies, like, well, day after day after day, or one and then wait a week and see the next one, wait a week and see the next one, it's all fresh. They are actually pretty brilliant all of a sudden, the way that they are woven together. And this, well, I'm not calling this brilliant, but this is another set of movies where it really benefits you to know what recently happened.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yep.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, you can just watch.
I remember I was messaging you. I'm like, I can't wait to get to the next one because I didn't watch the next one until we podcasted about it. But then I got to this one and I was like, oh, so I kind of killed my momentum. But I was really excited to get to this one because I completely forgot everything about it.
Got to get the answers.
That's right. I guess since we just summed this up, do we have any plugs, John?
I've recently been listening a lot to the Fear Merchants podcast. It's called like The Bazaar. They were doing 31 creatures for 31 days of October leading up to Halloween. What they do is they do like 5 or 10 creature categories per podcast, and I was really having a lot of fun listening to them. And they're pretty supportive of us on Twitter. They're at The Fear Merchant on Twitter. Cool guys. I've always been a fan of Crash Palace, and we know our friend Johnny Num, who gave us a question today. He's a part of that crew with Billy Crash. So they're at Crash Palace, and their podcast is called The Last Knock, and that's another joy of mine. And I've been enjoying the Faculty of Horror, but mostly horror podcasts, of course. But yeah, just really cool people with cool content out there. And I actually listen to our podcast. I think I've said that to our listeners before, but I actually love listening to us because when you listen to a recording of yourself, it doesn't feel the same way it felt when you were thinking it. You actually get to react to yourself. It's kind of fun.
Get to enjoy it a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's like, oh my God, I sounded really funny there. I didn't even know that was funny. Like, like goofy or whatever, just sincere. It's kind of fun. But yeah, and everyone else who gave us listener questions. We have Logan from Cleveland, Ohio. We had your colleague.
Yep. Forgot his name.
Sent a question. Big shout out to that guy. What about you, Mark?
Once again, thanks for hanging out on this. Make sure to go to iTunes, rate, review, subscribe. Check out any of our older episodes. We're now on TuneIn, which is Amazon's podcast. So they're kind of moving all their stuff. Like you can find a lot of that on, if you have an Alexa and all that, TuneIn kind of comes with all that. So we're now on that. So make sure to check that out. And listen, we just want listener questions. So if you have any listener questions, just head by Facebook or Twitter or our website. Let us know. And no, John, thanks for joining me. This was fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for John Levingood. Wait, John, zombie water drinker Levingood. Ooh. This is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.